ready?
What's up, folks? So today is video number 2 of you getting to know me a little bit better and showing you aspects of my life that a lot of you probably have no idea about. Today I am on College Avenue. If you don't know where this street is in Worcester, Google it. But no, this is College Avenue. The College of Worcester is right up the road right there. That's that big tower that you can see from miles away. This over here actually used to be Bell Avenue Elementary School. I went to school there for, how many years? Up until 3rd grade, and then it moved to Cornerstone Elementary. Like, we used to literally play kickball and baseball and football and everything in this yard, and the playground used to be up there. I think this is actually bought out by the College of Worcester right now and the Galt family. But I literally used to live in this house right here up until 3rd grade, and then I moved to the other house. But I could literally just walk out of my house and just walk to school. It was kind of cool. But I apologize for this wind. But what I really want to talk about, this video is actually going to be pretty deep. And this is not anything that I just talk about with anybody on a regular basis. But I feel like it needs to be out in the open, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that have had this happen to them, and it's kind of like a hush-hush thing. And it's not something that is talked about too often. But I think a lot of healing and freedom can happen when we talk about these hard times and these things that happen to us. Wow, this wind just picked up like crazy. This is nuts. When I lived in this house right over here, when I was about 3 years old, I'm trying to block this wind. When I was about 3 years old, unspeakable acts happened to me, and I was actually molested by my next oldest brother. And I wasn't the only one. There was actually a couple other kids on the street that it happened to, and it was a very hard time. It was a very weird moment in my life, because I remember it vividly. I remember it happening to me like it just happened like 2 minutes ago. It was one of my first memories as a child, and truly, for years upon years, I didn't understand what had truly happened. I couldn't really process it. I was a little kid, and even growing up, it's like I knew what had happened, and I knew it was wrong, but it didn't really affect me until later in life, until I was like a teenager, and I started thinking, wow, was that normal? Is that how you're supposed to feel? Is that what's supposed to happen to you as a kid? Because I knew it was wrong, but you start having these questions, you start having these doubts, you start thinking, is that okay? Am I gay because that happened to me? Am I still a virgin because that happened to me? Because my innocence was taken at such a young age? And I mean, my brother, after it came out that he did that to me, that broke my mom's heart. She blamed herself, and there was nothing she could have done. He was sneaky, and it was crazy, and it was bad, and he did it to other kids on the street too. And yeah, he got taken away until, well, he got put away for a while, because that's messed up. But here I am, I'm 28. This is like 25 years later, and I tell you what, it's still like a very stingy subject on my heart. It's still something that hurts me to think about, and I don't have contact with my brother. I grew up in a single-parent household. My mom did everything that she possibly could for me and my brothers growing up, and she's an amazing mother, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be the man that I am here today. But that kind of thing, man, is insane. And I don't wish that upon anybody. And you have a voice, and if that kind of things happen to you, if you've been molested, if you've been raped, if you've been sexually abused, you have a voice, and you need to speak it out. Not telling anybody is the worst thing that you could possibly do, because you're not the only one. if someone's sending you sexually explicit videos or text or anything, pictures, you are not the only one that's happening to. I wasn't. My brother did that to me, and he did it to other little innocent children on the street. So I knew I had to tell my mom because that was weird, and I was just a little 3-year-old kid, and I knew that was wrong. You might be 13, you might be 23, you might be in your 40s. If you haven't told anybody, you need to tell somebody, because that person needs to be dealt with. I'm sure God will get him and he'll deal with it, but you need to deal with them, because they got some consequences on this earth that they need to get, because it's not cool, it's not right. I don't care who they are. You have to tell somebody. Be the voice of the voiceless. When you tell somebody, when you speak out, when you make a video like this, when you make a post about it, when you are open about it, that kind of thing releases freedom, because there's other people that have been so bound up in fear. There's been so many other people that's been bound up in, oh, I wonder what, I don't want people to think ill of me and this and that. People looking left to the right. All you need to worry about is your issue at hand, and take the necessary precautions and measures and steps to make sure that that never happens to another child, to another human being, period. Because it's happening all the time, and people are just so hush-hush about it, and they're ashamed about it. And I mean, honestly, I can understand you, because I've been ashamed my whole life that something like that would dare happen to me. That I have now a gay brother, and that's just a tough subject as it is. I have a gay brother that I don't have any contact with because of all the things that he's done his whole life. And do I forgive him? Yes. Do I love him? Yes. Do I choose to have him in my life? No. Do I choose to have somebody like that, such a monster of a human being that's done all these things in my life? No. Do I hold that against him? Not really. Not really. And I say that because I don't want people to think that when you forgive somebody, that when you love somebody, that, I mean, just because it's your family, just because it's somebody that you're supposed to be close to, you don't have to accept them back into your life. Forgiving them and loving them and moving on is a whole nother aspect of literally accepting them back into your life and acting as if they've never done anything to you, because you still have to be careful with who you surround yourself with and who you share your heart and who you share your life with. Would I like to have my brother in my life and everything be normal? Yes, but my life's never been normal. My family's never really been there outside of my animals and outside of my mom. So I'm not really fully expecting my brother to just turn a whole new leaf and his life to just be forever changed, and he be the brother that he's never been, because he's never been there. And I'm just keeping it real with you. I would love to have that. I would love to. I don't know who wouldn't. I have 3 brothers. I have a mom, and I have endless uncles and aunts and cousins and all that stuff. But my story isn't a fairy tale, and this isn't Disney, and this is just reality, folks. So thank you for hearing my voice, and I'm sharing this with you right here. I just want you to know that you're not alone in this struggle. You're not alone in this battle. Just because I was molested as a 3-year-old child doesn't mean I'm going to grow up and be gay. It doesn't mean I'm going to grow up and be anything bad. It doesn't mean that I'm going to grow up and do it to other people. These bad things that happen to you, you move on. You process it, you talk about it, you take the necessary steps, you go to counseling if you have to, you pray about it, you talk to the people that are around you and that love you and that support you, and you move on. Tough stuff happens all the time, but it doesn't have to define you. Tough stuff happens all the time, but it doesn't have to deter you from reaching your goals and reaching your dreams and being all that you were born to be, because you're amazing and you're beloved. And things happen. People are bad and they make horrible choices. But that doesn't have to mean that you have to make those horrible choices too. That just because people suck doesn't mean you have to suck. You're amazing. Rise above the hate, rise above the fear, rise above the craziness, and rock out like you were born to, no matter what. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next week as we tackle a whole nother issue in my life. And like and subscribe. This is Woo Fit.